Yes, it is worth it in 2024. That's my intro.
Oh, nice.
What's worth it, Bjorn?
No, because if they've read the title and the thumbnail, then they have their answer. Now they don't need to stick around to watch the rest of the episode.
Terraria.
Let me explain to you how YouTube works, Bjorn.
No.
We try to push it to 10 minutes so we can get mid-roll ads on.
We don't have ads. Shut up. We don't have ads.
Shut up, they don't know that. They have,
Hello and
they have
welcome
ad
to
blockers.
Yeah, we're manifesting ads, guys.
Manifesting
We're
ads.
In the
Manifest.
comments, drop a comment and a like, and we'll manifest it.
I'm
together.
manifesting for my enemies.
Oh.
I'm not walking away because of that comment. I need to go close some doors and windows. You guys
Wow.
kill for time.
Well, that is a
Anyway,
bombshell, dude.
Taylor Swift has a new song called Fortnite.
Okay.
And she's talking about the game. And here's my proof. All right.
Okay. So
I'm bringing up the lyrics.
This is one of her new songs.
Off the new album.
Which-
Let's just say her lyricism,
Lyricism.
thank you,
Yeah.
has taken a really big dive
It's
on
sick.
this
I
album. It's
heard-
not
yeah.
great.
I heard there was a golden retriever line. Did you hear that one? Okay.
It feels like she's testing how bad she can be and still retain
And see how
the numbers.
many songs are on this album?
18, but apparently there's going to be a disc 2 dropping.
What?
That will push it up to 31.
That's so many songs. Eh?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Anyways,
Yeah, I'm back in. But
She
I
says-
just got no, guys. We
she
gotta.
says I was supposed to be sent
31
away.
songs?
She
I was
says I
supposed
was
to-
supposed to be sent away, but they forgot to come and get me. You're telling me that's not referencing going down in Fortnite and your teammates
Not
abandoning
reviving
you?
Yeah.
All right. I was a functioning alcoholic, chug juice. All right, trying to keep
Okay,
up those
okay.
shields.
What Reddit post? What not Reddit post? Reddit
Reddit
post.
post.
What Reddit post did you read this on, Hushab?
Like this came from my brain.
No,
This came from my brain. I am a free thinker,
Free
Bjorn.
thinking, man.
I'm not part of your system.
Till nobody noticed my new aesthetic. Obviously, that's getting a new skin in Fortnite. Come on.
Yeah.
And for a fortnight there, we were forever being with your team until they abandoned her. Run
Yeah.
into you sometimes. Sometimes you see them in another lobby.
You're choosing the most general of
Yeah,
statements.
you really,
and these are her lyrics.
You're
I'm going line by line.
You're
Okay,
scraping
Hushab,
this
Hushab.
through.
No, the lyrics you're choosing are just like you could apply them to anything. It's like
Nah.
actually, it turns out this song is about me going to the store. Hey, see, I sometimes run into friends at the store. Unreal.
All my mornings are Mondays stuck in an endless February. That's just her being addicted to Fortnite.
Are you gonna go through the whole song?
I
need
took
you.
the miracle move on drug. The effects were temporary. Chug juice again.
Hushab, I need
Come on,
you. I need
come
you.
on.
No,
She
dude,
has-
don't
come
you dare!
on.
Don't you dare!
Come
She
on.
has full shield right now.
Yeah.
Full shield.
Also, when like you could turn into Thanos when you got the ability for temporary. Come on.
Wow.
Come on.
And love you. It's ruining my life. She's playing too much Fortnite. She can't concentrate
She can't stop.
on.
She can't stop.
That's why her lyrics are so bad in the new album because.
These are not the views. These are not the views of the Underleveled podcast.
I love you. It's
Hushab,
ruining my
Hushab,
life.
Dude, do you know what happened
I
in the
touched
most?
you for only
Hushab,
a fortnight.
I need you to
Come
calm
on.
yourself.
Come on.
Hushab, do you know what happened in the most recent episode of our podcast? In the analytics, the part that got the most like rewatches was just the part about Swifties.
Yo.
And that's frightening, dude. I genuinely.
You're really
I need
challenging.
you to rein yourself in for a second.
Yeah.
And
I'm
just,
on. Come on. You're not telling me I'm onto something here.
you're not onto something. If you
Another
can, hold on.
Fortnite
Okay,
lost in
talk to me.
America.
Is the whole album about Fortnite?
No,
Or
just the
this
first
one
song.
So so why would the one song be about Fortnite and then the rest are about like Matt Healy or whoever?
I don't know.
else?
I haven't looked into the other songs. It's just
So do you think it's like
I've
the next
been-
one? The next one's about Minecraft and the next one's about
Maybe.
Terraria.
I've been like, I can't remember the guy's name. It's always Sunny in Philadelphia when he's got the board with the red string everywhere.
What?
From the meme. From Always Sunny. Is Max? Is it Max? No, it's not Max. You know the meme with like the guy who has like he's got the board in the background with the red string everywhere and he's like, looks like he hasn't slept in days.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it up.
What year is it?
Okay.
It's always
just
sunny.
always
Sunny in Philadelphia.
sunny in Philadelphia. Hello.
I think it's called a murder board or something usually.
Why is Google not helping me out here. I'm trying to do this with one hand as well.
You should be used to using your laptop one hand.
Oi!
Ah, so
There he
Charlie. There we
is.
go, Charlie.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's like, okay, conspiracy theorist guy.
Yeah.
You did such a horrid way of explaining that.
Well, it's because I already know where it's from.
I just
You should know your references.
Know your
Okay,
meme.
but-
Come on.
Any hooses. What are we talking about today? Let's get away from inflaming too many people on the internet.
Let's look at the second song and see what we
Oh
can.
my god. let's solve the crisis in the Middle East. That's potentially easier and less inflammatory.
Yeah, it's easy. Just tell them to stop. Guys, no. Give them a Pepsi.
Stop it. No. Anyway, Sushaf, what are we actually talking about today?
Terraria.
Is that the same game as-
Terraria. I am phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a whole... Oh, well, hello and welcome to the Underleveled podcast. My name is Bjorn.
I'm Ashav.
I'm Kieran.
And today we're going to be talking about Terraria and is it worth it to play in the year 2024?
It is. It really is. It holds up amazingly.
Okay. Well, let's...
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you. Shortest episode ever. Easy peasy. Well, we don't really have a proper structure for how we're going to break this down, I think.
Well, yeah. So for Terraria, we're trying something new where once a month we'd like to cover an indie game. So if you guys have any games you'd like us to do an in-depth episode on, please leave it in the comments and we'll take a look. And next month we could be playing your game. But for this month we decided to do one of the OG of indie games from 2011, Terraria.
Yeah. Going into this, I had never really heard of Terraria. Well, I'd heard of Terraria before. I'd never ever seen anything beyond like a screenshot. I was like, oh, it's a side-scrolling platformer.
No. You tried to tell everybody it was a cozy game a couple episodes ago.
Because I thought it was a cozy game.
To be fair,
genuinely thought it
looks like a cozy game.
I saw people building little homes, and I saw people like just running and jumping around, chopping stuff down. I was like, oh, sick! That's cozy game 101.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. But yeah, I didn't have much of a basis, whereas you, I assume, had a bit of a basis. Okay, so before we started playing, what was your experience of Terraria?
I picked it up like once or twice before at like a friend's place, just watching them play and having a go myself. And I know for a fact it was not a cozy game. So I thought you were trying to do a little jokey joke a couple of episodes ago.
I never jokey joke.
But no, it is... I think like a lot of people, I originally thought it was just like a Minecraft type ripoff.
Which, to be fair though, the
It
creator
is.
of Terraria has said that it is one of the Minecraft is one of the biggest inspirations.
Yeah,
for
well,
it.
Minecraft came out 2010. Well, the beta in 2010.
2009.
2009. Was it 2009? Sure, I'll believe
Yeah.
you. And Terraria came out in 2011, and a lot of people were just like, "Oh, this is just another Minecraft ripoff." But unlike Minecraft at the time, I mean, Minecraft is very different today compared to where it was
Mm-hmm.
a decade ago, a decade and a half. Yeah. It was more focused on combat.
Wait,
Terraria,
Terraria
is more focused on combat than Minecraft is.
Oh, sorry. I got like a deep burp somewhere in my system. I'm struggling over here. Just thinking about my days in Minecraft. But I think in terms of like the biggest differences between Terraria and Minecraft is that I would say Terraria is more of an exploration game. There's so much, like in terms of Easter eggs.
An exploration against Minecraft.
Minecraft is
No,
more
I
of a
wouldn't-
building and
But
crafting
it's
game.
still, if you're just doing like, the story mode, not creative.
No, but they have the same kind of story mode where it's like you can choose to go and like do the bosses. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You can just build. But having played a ton of Minecraft and
Have
like
you
plus minus 20
Have you
hours.
done the Ender Dragon?
But remember the Ender Dragon and stuff only came towards the end.
I think 7 years ago, maybe Ender Dragon was first introduced.
I'm talking about the end, like the new biome area that they built.
Yeah, that was
And,
recent.
a lot of the coolest stuff in Minecraft has come in the recent updates, right? In the last 5-6 years with Microsoft
After-
actually kind of doing some cool stuff.
I think was it once Mojang had sold to Microsoft that the Ender Dragon was introduced? Was before that?
No, I think that look, we got to fact check this, but I think Ender Dragon was always there. The the actual like area that you can go to after beating the Ender Dragon came in later.
Is that where you get
Yeah.
the wings?
the elytra?
yeah.
So Minecraft there's a lot to see and explore, but I don't feel the need to do that as much for like finding cooler gear or finding whatever. I find Minecraft is more of a building and crafting game, whereas Terraria is more of an exploration game. Like you have to go into the like underground in Terraria to get any kind of cool equipment off the bat, and you can get very good equipment off the bat.
Ender Dragon there was from the beginning.
Yeah. So
I thought it was only
yeah.
like later on. it was
Nah,
introduced.
so Minecraft base game actually had like a lot of stuff going on for it, but I okay, obviously this is personal opinion here.
Yeah.
When I play Minecraft, when I play Terraria, comparing the feeling I get playing Terraria
Yeah.
versus the feeling I get versus playing Minecraft. In Minecraft, I don't feel the desire to like constantly explore. I think it also because it can take so long to
Yeah.
explore, right? There's so much stuff, but it's spread out.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in Terraria, you just start digging down, or you find like when you spawn near a dungeon entrance of some kind, or not the dungeon.
A
Sorry, that's a
cave.
different thing.
Yeah.
A cave entrance, and you can just start going into it. Whereas in Minecraft, odds of you like finding something super nearby, like a massive cave system or something, it might just be a bit samey for a long time. So
Yeah.
for me, Terraria is an exploration game first and foremost.
Especially if we're comparing Minecraft, Terraria, your penalty for dying is a lot less severe in Terraria because it wants you to explore. So if you die, you don't. Unlike in Minecraft, you don't lose all your items.
You just
respawn
currency.
at home with them, which is fine.
But you lose money.
You
That's
lose
the-
money,
that's
but it's
the
not like
impor-
that much money.
And you can go collect it if
Yeah.
you want to. It actually scales. I had like 30 gold on me, and I lost 20 gold when I died the one time. So I think it scales quite a lot based on how much money you have on you. But yeah, I think Terraria the main way it steps away from like the Minecraft pigeonhole is
Combat.
it's combat, Easter eggs, and like general incentive to explore because there are so many different hidden things all over the place.
Yeah.
And the building mechanics in Terraria are like
Much
on a
more
smaller
limited.
scale than.
You're gonna irritate a bunch of people by saying that.
Well, I know,
Look,
I'm asking
when
the
you're
question.
comparing to Minecraft, it is limited, but you can still do some beautiful things with it, but not to the same extent.
Yeah.
Like it's no, you're not going to be able to be out here building Winterfell or something
Yeah.
like that.
So,
Hogwarts.
Yeah.
like I've tried to get a bit more into the build. That's my favorite part of most games, right? The building and crafting is really cool. I think Terraria loses out. I think it is beautiful and interesting in its own way, but it loses out because it is 2D. And
Yeah.
there are different layers, I guess. Like you have the background of the actual game. Then you have like almost a background, but that you can build stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the layer that you're on, and then you have like another forward layer. So actually, I can show you over here. Okay, well, for the audio listeners, this is not ideal for you, but like you can see here, you have like a background layer, you have a wall layer where you
Yeah.
normally put like your wood, also like wooden walls or stone walls or your windows on. Then you have an interactable layer where you can put like your chests and your item frames and your crafting benches and whatever.
Yeah.
So it is like multi-layered, which is cool, but because you don't like get the full 3D, you don't see the full outside of the building.
Yes. That's what I meant.
Yeah, which takes away a bit compared to Minecraft, but in its own way, it's still very beautiful for sure.
No, yeah. I mean, just looking at that, it looks cool.
It's a very, very cool game. I don't know, Hushaf, like in terms of what you got up to in Terraria, did you have a chance to really like do much building?
I didn't do much building, kept it very simple. I was mainly focused on leveling my own character up, just to get him ready for the first boss, the Eye of Cthulhu. But no, I haven't gotten this far in building yet. I only still have one person living in my community, I guess, and that's the starter NPC that you get.
Oh, so where's
Is it the old man?
I can't see on this damn TV. So this guy over here in his little like wooden hut.
Yeah, that man saved me early game
Yeah.
with his bow and arrow. I was out just struggling to defeat those zombies and slimes.
Because I know, Bjorn, you got the old man.
Yeah,
and
so I got the
he is
merchant and I built him a nice little.
useless.
he is miserable.
Did
Can
not
we talk about blood moons for a second?
Yeah.
Like in-game events. There are so many in-game events in Terraria that are awesome, but I had like 5 blood moons in a row, and I was like, "What the actual
I was
is
there,
happening
dude.
right now?" I'm like, it was just so overwhelming, and your villagers are gosh darn useless at combat.
Because you're supposed to be OP.
Well, yeah. Also, Easter egg. I found this set of like apparel or like aesthetic items in a chest. I'm dressed as Yoshi, which I'm pretty.
That is not Yoshi, that is a toad.
Sorry, Toad. That's what I meant. One of the many Easter eggs in the game. That as like references to other IPs and stuff. Like there's a set of armor that you can get that it's called the Hero's Armor, but it's just Link from Legend of Zelda.
That's pretty cool.
That being said, I feel like a lot of them have to be super underhanded and like secret because there's no way
Nintendo
Nintendo
gonna swing their big dick around.
But there are also like other like crossovers that they did with indie games. Like there's a
Don't Starve and
Yeah.
Terraria did a crossover type thing.
and there's also another major one that they did. Either way, like Terraria like interacts a lot with other like indie games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool.
So anyways, you boot up Terraria and you, much like Minecraft, you are just dropped in the middle of a random forest. And because I have my Minecraft knowledge, I knew the first thing I need to do was hit trees. Build a little shelter for myself, build a crafting station, and you just go from there. Get your pickaxe, get some armor, get a sword, head down to your first cave.
Yeah, it's super simple. Like it gets you started on exploration so fast.
Yeah.
I will say I like how contextual the game is. So for instance, Kieran, this is for you, but like if you hit left shift,
Yeah.
when your cursor is over something, whatever it might be, if it's over a tree, it'll automatically like select while you're holding down shift. It'll auto select the correct tool to interact with that object.
Oh, that's nice.
From your inventory. It doesn't have to. So for instance, if your cursor's over a tree and you hit left shift, it'll auto select your axe so you can start chopping down the tree. Once it's done chopping down, you release your left shift and it just goes back to whatever other tool you were using, which is really
That's
cool.
actually really nice.
And it does the same with like glow sticks or torches at night. If you're running and you just want some light quickly, you can hold left shift if your cursor's in the air and you'll auto select your torches while you're running, which is a really, really cool mechanic. Bit frustrating at times when you're trying to get the right tool for the right thing at the right time. But for the most part, like just a lovely quality of life thing.
I'm a bit old fashioned. I got my hotkeys and I know where everything is, so I'm just there instantly.
Fun fact about myself, I never ever use hotkeys in games. I mean, I can't. My brain cannot go from WASD and like shift and control and stuff to
1, 2, 3,
new.
4,
to 1, 2,
5.
3, 4, 5. I don't know why I can't do it. I just can't. Regardless of the game, I will always scroll through the toolbar.
I always use hotkeys.
The-
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Genuinely, it would make life so much simpler. And also playing games like Age of Empires or whatever it might be, where having macros and stuff is super important to
Super
play
important.
fast
Yeah.
and like Total War and so on. I cannot. My brain cannot wrap itself around using hotkeys. I don't know what it is. I'm just dumb.
You know what you know. You like what you like.
I like what I like, man.
There you go.
I like what I like. Thank you for
WASD.
affirming me.
Or he's just stubborn and doesn't want to try a better way of life.
It's probably that. I gotta be honest. But yeah. So you
Developed came out 2011 by Relogic. The guy's name is something Spinks.
he was a solo
a
dev.
solo dev, yeah.
Who then, after building like a pretty robust base game,
Yeah,
brought
he
on
used
some other people.
C# to code this.
He also but he had like.
He
What,
had
he-
a
he went-
sprite designer.
Did
He
we watch
had
the same YouTube video by any chance?
No, I read.
Oh, okay. I don't read. But he
I
was a
don't
guy.
read.
He went First he went to the army, then he studied comsci. No, dude, I'm half remembering here. Do you know any of
I
this?
didn't look into his personal history.
Okay, so he went to the army. While he was in the army, he ran websites for Flash games. When he got out, he had enough money saved up to be able to like want to make his own game. So he and another guy, I think, learnt C# and like some basic pixel art and stuff. And eventually they brought on other members to assist them. One of the guys they brought on, I think as an artist or a dev, went on to found Chucklefish, which is the people that published like Stardew Valley, Wargroove, an upcoming game called
This is
Witchbrook.
the people that Bored Ape doesn't like, right?
Well,
Not Bored Ape,
Concerned
Concerned
Ape.
Ape. Yeah.
So the guy, so the founder of Chucklefish, is the allegations of like abuse and stuff at the beginning, at the founding of Chucklefish. Yeah. But that whole little side tangent jump thing from Relogic. Very like it's a very cool story, I guess, of a team that ended up striking gold. But sorry, Hushef, you were saying about like the actual development of the game and
I was just saying that
when it came from.
C#.
Mm-hmm.
Really interesting. Like you said, solo dev, very small team, 3-4 of them. Him, sprite designer, composer, one other person. 4 people.
Dude, our information is so robust. Our
My
research
brain-
team.
I'm sorry,
is-
all my thinking power went on the Taylor Swift Fortnite.
the stuff that
But
matters in
yeah,
life.
really small team that built Terraria from obviously the ground up, and over the past now decade has received constant updates that has increasingly made this world bigger and bigger. The original game only had 3 bosses, but now we're up to 14 bosses.
Or
Nice.
is it 14 in base and then hard mode is 14,
That's including hard mode.
including hard?
Yeah.
Which is also I like that idea of, I don't know, Kieran, do you know
Is it
anything
hard
about
mode?
this?
Like, is it hardcore? Like, if you die, you die.
I don't know.
No,
Like you have
hard
to
mode is
reset.
just the enemies get much harder, and there's 2 new biomes that get introduced.
Okay.
The corruption or the crimson, which is kind of like the bad. I don't know,
That's in
plague.
base though.
Huh?
In base, the crimson is there.
Yeah, it depends on what you chose. It's either the base. I mean, it's either the crimson or the corruption.
Yeah.
So you get like the
Mhm.
corruption zone or the crimson zone. It's same, but depending on your world, it's like there's not much of a difference between the
Yeah.
two.
Okay.
But yeah, so hard mode happens after you defeat a certain boss called the Wall of Flesh, and as soon as you defeat that creature, the world enters hard mode.
Okay.
2 new biomes introduced. The plague starts spreading much faster. Enemies get much tougher, and you need to be like orbit on your shit. You need to be looking for your next set of weapons and armor, because you can't. With what you defeated the Wall of Flesh with, that's not going to help you moving forward.
That's so sick.
That
Like
is cool.
it's built into the game. It's not
Yeah.
like you have
Yeah.
to start a new game and then
Choose
And
hard.
select
It's
your
just-
difficulty.
It's at some point the game is like, now you're ready. You finish your tutorial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's time to rock your
So
shit. To
when
the
when
next
you
That is
create
episode.
when you
cool,
create the
though.
game, you can choose normal, medium, hard, or to that same effect. But
Mm.
then hard mode is still something you unlock in the game. So if you were starting the game on hard and then you unlock hard mode, it's gonna be next level
Yeah,
difficulty.
super. Yeah.
which is
super
super
difficult.
cool. Not that we got anywhere close
No.
to that, by the way.
we beat one boss.
We.
I beat one boss.
Who's a we, white man?
You beat the Slime King. I
Wait,
beat the Eye of Cthulhu.
Did you actually beat him?
I built a little arena for myself.
Okay. Oh, dude, arenas are so cool.
Whoever was like the first person to think of that is a genius. I love you so much. It makes
So between the
makes
two
it
of
so
us, we
much
beat two
easier.
bosses. Yeah. Nice. Wait, you're a melee main, right? You went
but I switched up for the Eye of Cthulhu. I got a bow.
okay
Because it was
okay.
so much easier to fight the Eye of Cthulhu
Yeah.
with a bow than my broadsword. Yeah.
So I'm going the mage route. I crafted like a staff of fury or something. It just uses rubies and gold and stuff, which surprisingly simple. I spend so much time dilly dallying and
Yeah.
like not wanting to get involved with the bosses because I was like, oh, it's gonna be so tough. It's gonna be like a bullet storm game where I'm just like freaking out and don't know what's clapping. But I think this morning before we started recording, I was like, Bjorn, you have to at least have beaten one boss before you talk about it. So I built my little arena. I do want to go back in and just like turn it into something really cool.
Yeah, there's some really cool arenas you can
Yeah.
make. People are like, put campfires up, put your
So I put campfires and the star in a bottles to help with
star
magic.
lanterns
Yeah, to
for
help with
your
my health
mana
and
refill.
magic and mana. Yeah. So I did do that. Did you do any like buffs or anything?
Just campfires. I saw people also talking about getting honey.
Honey and sunflowers as well.
Yeah.
I put up all the different banners that I have. That assist with like, what's it? Buffs against certain enemies.
Yeah.
But like people proper build whole arenas like properly, and I kind of want to make mine look like the Colosseum in Rome. But that seems like an awful lot of.
But also, there's some bosses that you won't fight. Well, you won't summon you'll have to do it like underground for like the one boss. So you can't do it in like a normal arena that you probably built on the surface.
Do you know which one?
Do you remember those worm things that like come out?
Yeah.
There's, like,
That annoying fucking sound where it's like.
Yeah. There's a big that you have to face eventually.
Okay. That's okay.
And you have to build that arena underground. So I've seen people like drop bombs, clear out a huge area,
Yeah.
and do it there.
Awesome. I know there's hell in this game.
Yeah.
So people build elevators.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so deep. Kieran, I cannot stress enough.
Elevators.
It is such an insanely deep game because what happened was got released. It got leaked a month or something before it was scheduled to be released. And then they just dropped it, whatever, but it wasn't in the state that the creators wanted it to be in. So they, over the next couple of months after that, they just dropped like a bunch of updates, getting it to where it should have been at release. And then eventually, I wish I remembered the name of the creator, but he basically was like, I'm done. Like, this has been cool. They sold hundreds of thousands, if not millions of copies at the time. And then he was like, yeah, I'm kind of over it. I want to move on to the next thing. And that was going to be the end of Terraria until I think 505 Games, which are known for doing ports to consoles, they approached him and were like, hey, we want to do a console port, which is something he'd always planned on doing. So I think it came to consoles in like 2012, 2013. And then somewhere around this time, the creator's partner, and I think she also worked on the game itself.
She also works on it,
Yeah.
Whitney Spinks.
How do you know her name and then not not his name?
Oh.
Either way, she convinced him to maybe start it up again. And since 2014, early 2014, there have been regular releases. Andrew Swing, there we go. Regular releases to Terraria or updates to Terraria, all free. And they just kept adding more and more and more and more stuff to the game.
The PlayStation and mobile was all in 2013. PlayStation Next Gen was 2014. Nintendo DS 2015, Wii U 2016, Nintendo Switch 2019, Stadia 2021.
Okay.
Which the whole Stadia thing is another mini story. Like apparently something happened with him and Google, and he ended up pulling the game from the Google Play Store because apparently there was something where they removed his account and they weren't being transparent with him about why they pulled it. And so he's like, and they were supposed to be coming out on the Stadia soon. And he's like, he pulled it off the store. He's like, I'm not working with you guys anymore. I'm not going to make it for the Stadia. And Google came crawling back to him and like, all right, this is what happened. Please make it for the Stadia. Because, the Stadia hasn't been doing too hot. I'm pretty sure it's discontinued. Is it still a thing?
What, dude, I'm not a repository of information. I gotta be honest.
Yeah. Anyways,
okay,
but
Google.
yeah, and he was like, fine. Like, and he like put out a thing saying me and Google patched up our differences and it will be coming out on the Stadia. 2021 it came out on the Stadia.
Okay, dude, so much drama. But I think the last update came out the last couple of years. That being said, there's just so much. This game is so
I think I didn't know how much it was getting into it when I said, hey, we should do Terraria. I thought it would be pretty easy. We'd get through quite a bit. Even like starting out to get to your first boss takes quite a bit of effort.
Think about like AAA games, right? If I've played 20 hours, I'm at least a third, if not halfway through
the main story. Yeah.
Right? I've just beaten the first boss, and I can actually okay, once again, audio listeners, I apologize. But I can show you here I took a screenshot of my world map, right? So I've like maybe explored underground of maybe 5% of the actual like.
And you've
map.
only explored just your biome. I don't see you.
Yeah, I haven't
other
really
biomes.
gone into the other biomes as well. I've like gone along the surface
Yeah.
and run quite a distance towards the like
East and
east.
west.
What direction is that? West?
East. No.
No, west.
Yeah.
West.
So towards
West.
the west.
The west.
I've done like that, but there's just too much to explore and there's too much to go into. So
So have you hit the corruption zone on yours?
yeah, so
the
the
Crimson
corruption
Zone.
is right over there.
Okay.
That's how I was able to get the. So to get the Slime King, you need to first craft a crown using gold and ruby. Then you need to take that and some slime some gel that you get from killing slimes
Yeah.
to a altar. There's like in the Crimson or your corruption zone, there'll be like an altar
Yeah, crimson
specific.
altars that you use to make your statues to summon your bosses.
Yeah, so I made the like a special craftable item that you then get to then you use that to summon the Slime King.
Okay, so same for the Eye of Cthulhu, which is traditionally your first boss.
I found the Eye of Cthulhu I didn't have to craft anything.
Yeah, there is another item that sometimes drops, so you can find.
I just found the item, so I was like, oh, sick. But I found it way too early on. I was like, no, thank you. I'm not gonna get involved with that. But it's very vast, and I'm a bit I'm just overwhelmed. Like I feel like I could potentially put in 100 hours and still only be 30 to 50%.
Not even like anywhere close to hard mode.
Yeah, depending on obviously like how much I push. But I also just enjoy.
But are you enjoying it that much that you would put in that extra 70 hours?
I would casually play it. I think if we all played together, I think it is a game that lends itself really well to multiplayer.
Yeah.
Hush and I played a bit together. I know it also it scales the world a bit. Like it makes the bosses harder. I think it changes some other statistics as well. But it is a phenomenal multiplayer game. I think it could work really well if you all because it's a massive world and you can choose different map sizes.
Yeah, you don't always have to be together.
Yeah.
But you
Split
could
up.
feasibly build your own bases on the same map and then travel between them and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think I could potentially put in 100 hours, 200 hours. There are 100% people with thousands of hours in this game.
Yeah.
Because you can min max it. There's so many different classes and
Summoner class, which I would really love to, but it seems like you need to at least understand the game a bit better, which will be easier to start off as a melee or a range build.
I have no idea how to get into the summoner class. I haven't watched any videos on how to do it.
So your main weapon as a summoner class is also the whip chain thing.
Yeah. Which makes me so uncomfortable, by the way. You were talking about the anime that an Arc Demon's Dilemma,
Yeah.
right? And I was just slavery. It's just all
Today's
over the place.
topic, slavery.
And then the summoner class, I was like, I appreciate running away and dodging stuff, but then I cannot do that and still attack at the same time, which is most fighting games in the world is balancing that. Whereas for summoner, you can kind of just focus on dodging, and your summons are going to do all the heavy hitting for you. But if you do use a weapon, it is literally just a whip that you crack. And I was just nah, I can't physically bring myself to do it. But how do you find the whip, I guess?
It's not for me. I feel it takes a bit of skill, I think.
Okay, because it's a squishy class, right?
Yeah.
You're a bit of a glass cannon.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. You're relying on your summons to do most of the work. I've only ever played a summoner in one other game, which was Hollow Knight, and then that was just I tried it out for a little bit, which runs which is also side scroller.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do want to try it out in Terraria, because you get this awesome looking dragon thing as one of your summons eventually. This blue dragon.
Is it? Oh, and it gets more segments the more powerful it is. Yeah,
it looks so cool. I really want to try that.
So yeah,
but a lot of things in Terraria just look so cool in that 2D pixel art, especially a lot of your later armors. It just aesthetically just looks so pleasing, and it's I'm sure as a player who works so hard to get that armor, And first of all, seeing it like put in that work and then look aesthetically pleasing, it's just amazing. It's a
Yeah.
great payoff.
I do like the look of the game. Like, it's got a pretty vibe, but it also feels kind of dark and dingy at the same time as you're exploring.
Oh, definitely when you
going
go into
through.
your dungeons and caves.
And like, there's some cool backgrounds.
Actually, did you find a dungeon?
Like the dungeon.
Like a dungeon?
No,
yeah.
I haven't found it. Apparently, it's normally spawns on either end of the map. So Kieran, just for you. So earlier on, I misspoke and like called a cave a dungeon, which is
Okay.
a bad move because there is literally something called a dungeon in this game, which is like very different, and it spawns at either end of the world map.
Okay.
And in it are like tougher, like just mob enemies, and it has a very specific like design. Like it looks very gothic
Okay.
and impressive.
cool.
It looks like when you're in it, it's like an old school arcade game. You just like, because it's a 2D scroller.
And is it meant to be like, this is difficult? Like, you're in
It's supposed to be
you're probably
tough.
gonna die.
Because you get some good loot in there that
Okay.
you need moving forward.
Okay.
Um,
And there's only one dungeon.
I think one spawns per world, but I'm not 100% certain
Yeah,
on
don't-
that fact.
Okay.
But I feel like Terraria, there's no matter what kind of player you are, like of games, there's something for you in it. Like if you want to do the bosses, you can, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
If you want to just explore and mine and build stuff, you can do that. You can technically farm in this game as well. Like there's a whole, I haven't really gotten into alchemy. I haven't really touched much in terms of magic. Like I've just got the one staff.
Yeah, you really need to be
Um,
like much further into the game to go into alchemy and magic.
Yeah, so there's also there's NPCs that as you build up more homes and stuff in your little village, they'll come and join your village. Like there's like a mechanic or a robot mechanic, and there's a dryad, and there's all these kinds of things who will like give you missions and stuff like that as well. So I definitely see myself continuing to play, ideally with you guys.
It's definitely something I'll play throughout the year.
Would you be okay if I was like a lurker on the call and just chatting lurker?
You wouldn't want to hop in and play.
Well, not necessarily. It's just like sometimes I like to just
You want
like
us
to
to
be
stream
there.
for
I
you.
like
You
to
want us
feel
be streaming.
included.
Potentially, like it's so chilled. You can do what you
But
did
yeah.
in Stardew Valley, and you go off grid, and you just like in
Oh,
a
I
little
love
hole,
that.
dude.
I did love that. Wait, what were you saying, Shah?
I don't remember.
Me
Would
too.
you recommend this game for somebody who's getting into gaming?
Maybe because you technically you don't have to engage with the parts of the game that you don't want to engage in. So it is kind of quite cool to like think about the fact that if you wanted to, you only really need your like left button, your right button, and your space bar, right? That's your movement and your jump,
And obviously your mouse.
and then your mouse,
Yeah.
right? Which is simple enough. Then you can if you get into like grappling hooks and magic and switching between items, your hotbar, which I don't do.
The hot
Your
hotkeys,
You
dude.
can. I think it's actually thinking about it now. It's a surprisingly good game for someone who does not play games to get into gaming.
Because it slowly goes down all the different mechanics.
Yeah.
And then obviously into hard mode where you should be pretty far into it.
Yeah.
And because it has so many different aspects to it, like alchemy and combat and mining and building and decorating, all that kind of stuff, and you can see what stuff you actually engage with as a player, and then use that to inform future game purchases. Terraria might actually be the perfect
Starter game for someone.
starter game for someone.
It's so weird because I also think that, but I also think like if you want to go through it and you want to like find the bosses or, you know, get through all 14 bosses, I would have no idea how to like summon some of them unless I'd watch the guides online.
That's
Okay.
what you were saying. Is that
Can we get into a couple of the negatives? Because we've been seeing a lot of praises for Terraria, and there is a lot of praise to be sung about it. I think it's a phenomenal game. But there are some like big issues. And as you just said, Hushaf, you cannot go through it. There's no in-world description of a lot of the stuff.
There's absolutely no hand holding whatsoever.
Yeah, no manuals.
No tutorial, no nothing. I mean, besides your starter NPC who you can go to for tips or advice every now
Yeah.
and then, he'll give you something useful. There's nothing.
And that's very old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you guys ever play? It's a pixel art side-scrolling game called Kingdom. It is a very simple game. Well, weirdly complex in its own ways, but generally quite simple. You start off, you're a royal or a king or a queen, whatever, on their horse, and you start moving. I can actually show you guys a little image here.
Because when you guys say like there's no manual, when I played the original Demon Souls, there was a manual that came with it to tell you how to get through each level.
Are you talking about in the cover?
Yeah, so it came with the box. And
Yeah.
it was it was an actual manual, and I was like, you should probably do this if you want to beat this boss or blah blah blah.
Was it like
That's how
nudge
hard it
nudge
was.
wink wink, or just like word for word?
No,
do
no, no.
this?
I think it was like word for word. Like,
Jesus.
listen, like this is the strats,
Yeah.
and I had to refer to that thing a lot. I was like, how do I get this
What?
item?
How old are you at this point?
Dude, I must have been like 12, 13, which is when games are. A game like that is hard when you're 13. That looks cool, by the way.
Okay, so sorry, just coming back to Kingdom.
That looks very beautiful.
This is a really, really good like pixel art kind of strategy-esque game. I'd put it in casual gaming, but it can get quite difficult. There is also a sequel or two sequels. You have the classic game, you have Two Crowns, and you have New Lands.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they're all separate games, but either way, your basic thing is you are a regent of some kind, and you are on your horse.
Okay.
Okay, that's how you start the game. Then, and you have a couple of coins in your pouch. You then need to go to little camps and stuff, and you hire people to join your town or village. And those people that you hire, then you can assign them jobs by buying tools. Then, and you build a small town that needs to defend against these monsters that come every single night. And like every set amount of time, there's like a blood moon where there's an overwhelming amount of them. And you build up walls, you recruit more people, you do a bunch of things. The only mechanic you pretty much have in this game as like the player is moving left and right and then dropping coins. You have like 3 controls, and you can also like sprint or whatever, but you literally have 3 controls.
Yeah.
That's all you can do as the player. And it is so simple and elegant, but it's still a very, very deep game.
I think I would enjoy that.
It's
liberating.
Yeah, it's like very casual.
And also the background there looked very pretty.
Yeah, it's
Like, it looked
awesome.
like
It's a
cool
beautiful game.
The
And there's a lot
water
of hidden
looked
mechanics
nice.
as well. Like if you let your horse eat, then it'll be able to run faster, whatever. But what was the context of this? What were we talking about just beforehand?
You wanted to talk to the negatives.
Yeah, so
Yes.
we were talking about
brought up about.
there's no manuals, there's no...
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So for instance, in Kingdom, right? That no manuals, no tutorials of any kind works because your mechanics, you have 3 options. You can move to the left, move to the right, or drop a coin.
Drop a coin, yeah.
Right? Those are your 3 options. Yes, you like as you go along, you learn what you should invest your money into, whatever. But with Terraria, you literally have no clue what to do unless you look it up online.
Yeah.
You like recipes for things. I think I was struggling with which tool to use for which item. Like for instance, I was talking about the layers. Like when you're building, you have a background layer where you put your walls and whatever. You need to build a hammer to be able to engage with those. But you wouldn't know that at all.
I was always
unless,
like, once I messed up, I'm like, oh, that's it.
Yeah. Also, you can so that's the background layer. Then the layer that you stand on, if you use your hammer, you can actually change the orientation of blocks and like the way they look, which is really cool. But once again, that is not something that would like naturally come to my gamer brain.
Like, yeah, this is what I need to
And that's
do.
just for like your basic building, right? That we're not getting into like
Some
alchemy
your
recipes,
bosses.
like where to find different armors.
Yeah.
The crafting, guys. I hate the
I
crafting.
don't mind it.
Really?
Because I mean, this
'Cause-
sounds like, extreme no hand holding. Where
Yeah.
most games have like an
I just
introductory
No.
to a mechanic.
So
This
if
sounds
you,
like there is nothing. Like you're just thrown in,
Yeah.
which is cool, but it might be a little overwhelming. I would say.
Mhm. It's just tiring because you have to literally experiment with everything. But sorry.
yeah.
Husha?
So for crafting, like, if you have a bunch of resources, it shows you everything you can make with your current resources.
I hate that. I hate it so much.
Oh,
I've-
so
because
what you have in your
If
inventory.
if
Yeah.
you don't have something in your inventory, the items you can or can't craft will not show up.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
see.
which is incredibly frustrating because you kind of have to just grab as much as you if you don't know recipes,
Yeah.
you just have to grab as much as you can from all your different chests
Get back to your crafting
and
tables.
then go back to the
And
different
check.
and they are do you know that there are a total of 30 different crafting tables in this game?
Really?
Yes, or like
So what
crafting stations, right?
because we got to the standard, the heavy crafting table, smelter. I don't know if
then
that
there's a
counts.
glass like
Then
they
it's
become
the
more
iron, the
niche as you go
anvil,
along.
the anvil one.
And like, if you explored, right, like Bjorn showed us earlier, that whole map of where he explored, to get back to your initial starting point where all your crafting stuff is, do you have to run all the way back?
you in the beginning, yes, but you
No,
could
but
very
usually-
quickly get access to potions, recall potions, and you have a little item.
Okay, that's
It's
cool.
like a little mirror that allows you to infinitely do that without.
Okay.
But you can't get back to where you were without like special portals and
Yeah.
other stuff.
But I think the first time I went into the cave, like I think one of my first chests, I found a recall potion.
Yeah.
So it's not like
There's a lot of quality of life things. Like they understand the game and they try to make it as fluid as possible. But okay, so all the these are pre-hard mode, but these are the crafting stations. You have your basic workbench, you have furnace, you have anvils, you have alchemy tables, you have sinks, sawmills, looms, table and chair. Is that a
functions as a station solely for crafting watches.
yeah, workbench
Watches.
and chair, cooking pots, Tinkerer's workshop, imbuing station, dye vat, heavy workbench, and then a demon or a crimson altar, which you cannot craft or move. But then on top of that, once you've done the hard mode, or you're in hard mode, you have like upgraded versions of a lot of them. You have bookcases, crystal balls, auto hammers, ancient manipulators. You also have like things like kegs, teapots, living wood, all this kind of. These are all different things that you could potentially craft
Yeah.
to be able to craft more items.
That's a
And
lot.
and you have to stand near them to be able to craft items of that particular
Okay.
station.
Yeah. But you can stand like in the middle of three and have access to all three at the same time.
There's also like an optimized version where you have like little, like some built on little platforms above each other, whatever.
Yeah.
There are the 80% of what you will need to craft regularly can be done in like 3 or 4 of the workstations. I give them that. I just find it to be like kind of just, it's not very nice to have to like look up every single time you want to craft something. Like if you can't remember how many like blocks of iron or whatever you need for a Minecraft, sorry, not Minecraft, for a minecart, it's a bit exhausting and it gets a bit frustrating.
Okay,
the
well,
more you
ask,
do
but
it.
how's that different from how I know when you play Stardew, you keep the Stardew Wikia up on your second screen?
Not really.
So I would say it's not that similar
No,
for Terraria.
not even for like, because crafting is one of the biggest things in this game, right? In Stardew Valley, crafting is a thing, but also you have all your craftables. Like if you go into your crafting section in Stardew Valley, you see every single recipe you know, and you can mouse over it and it'll tell you exactly what you need for that recipe.
Yeah, but I'm not saying in that crafting sense. I'm just saying in the sense of you're already in another game that you play and love, you keep a Wikia open. How's it different from Terraria keeping a Wikia open?
Okay, so for something like Stardew Valley, it's normally just to quickly check up one thing about like, oh, someone's schedule or whatever. But between the library and like a bit of exploration or whatever, there's very little you actually have to constantly check. Yes, it's sometimes frustrating for like if you want to build your barn upgrade and you get the wrong number of ingredients or whatever, but they fixed that by building the telephone that you can buy, and you can call like the different shops and whatever. With Terraria, literally every single part of it, and I sent you guys that short, right, of the one like crafting tree where to get to these specific boots you have to go through like 15 different steps to get there. That is exhausting.
That's a lot.
That is insanely exhausting to constantly be checking up on those recipes throughout a playthrough. And I think that's between that and just the UI of Terraria. I fucking hate the UI so much. Hushef, you said you didn't struggle. Kieran did say it was overwhelming though.
I said the
I didn't
UI
mind it
was
too much.
too much.
Like
There's
once
too much going on.
once I knew what was happening and you can switch it from doing the side scroll on the side, having a full loadout in front of you, so you can see everything in one go. I was like, oh, it's not too bad. I actually like it. Well, I mean, like's a strong word, but it's like, I see your value.
It gets the job done.
Yeah.
But it is not a pleasant experience. It feels like they did not have a UI designer on their squad, which I don't think they did. Like, because Kieran, you remember how I explained to you, right? You have if you press escape and it opens up your like inventory, your whole inventory will be at the top left with a separate inventory for your coins and your projectile ammunition, with a quest thing at the top, some extra buttons for like organizing and sorting.
On your right side, then your armor, weapons,
Dude, that's a whole.
When I saw that, so much.
You have for your armor and weapons, right? You have like your actual armor, then you have the aesthetics that go over the armor and a die row. On top of that, you have different loadouts, and you have like a separate thing for equipment and equipables.
And your stuff for your little village that will make them.
That as well. Then your crafting, you will have the side scroller, and then you can click a button and it expands it all. But then the moment you start crafting, it goes back to the side.
Okay, I don't like that.
Dude,
that irritates me.
It's so much. And if you also have your mini-map up on the right, okay, it is just, there's so much. Yes, you get used to it. Yes, you start understanding the different parts of it, but it is horrid to like load in and be like, what am I using? What do I need to use? Also, the like stack to nearby chests button. So if you have a bunch of things in your inventory, you can click a button that should stack them to existing stacks in nearby chests. I don't know why, but it doesn't work for me most of the time.
Work for me. Just when I hold shift and click one of the items, everything goes in.
No, not if you have I'm not talking about if you have the corresponding chest open, because I have multiple chests that are categorized, and let me just show you on my cute little building here. So I have chests, and then they have like, they're all categorized, and I have little labels and stuff above them, right? If you stand near chest, and you just go into your own inventory, you can click stack to available chests or stack to other stacks of the same item, and it doesn't work for me half the time. I don't know if you have to be like right next to the chest, in which case you can just shift click into it anyways. But it's just, in terms of like UI and navigating menus and stuff, I think the game suffers a lot because there are so many different items, and there are so many, like, the crafting system is so long. I wouldn't necessarily call it deep. I just would call it vast. Which is, once again, it's overwhelming. The game is hella overwhelming, Harsha.
It is. Especially if you know going into it how much there is to actually do in it.
Yeah. So, but honestly, besides...
for beginners.
It's a beginner's
besides the UI and the, like, constantly having to have, like, wiki...
The crafting, not the crafting systems, but the crafting core mechanic.
Yeah. Besides that, I think it is pretty much flawless besides that.
Yeah.
Like, I can nitpick certain things about like art style and whatever, but I don't feel the need to, because it all works. Like, it's really, really solid and lovely. And I can't imagine someone loading up this game and absolutely hating it unless
you don't like that type of game, survival,
or they like the only thing they consume
Sandbox.
is like Fortnite.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, yeah. So this game is not for Taylor Swift.
Fortnite.
I don't know, Kieran, any takeaways? Obviously you haven't really played, but you've seen a lot.
I think the takeaway for me is it'll take me a while to get into, and I feel like once I start understanding the systems, then I would get hooked a little bit. I do, like I said, I like the look of the world, and I know you said now that you might have some nitpicks for the art style or whatever.
Yeah.
I actually think it's pretty decent.
It's charming. It's very charming.
And I like exploring and figuring things out. So that is rewarding in itself. If I was gonna play it, man, like I said, I'd have to be fully invested. Like, this is what I'm doing for the next week is getting into the game.
You'll do like a 50-hour week.
Yeah, I can't. I'm either in it or I'm out. You know, so that's what my takeaway is. It sounds fun though. It looks good. It looks like a good game.
This is a game for somebody who's looking for a game they can put tons and tons of hours to.
Yeah.
super rewarding. Who they have all their little side elements, crafting, building. If you want to build cute little houses like Beyond It, you can do that.
What do you mean cute? Do
No, you can go exploring.
majestic fortresses of solitude and
You
power.
wanna min max yourself. You love grinding. Game for you.
Mm.
Wanna take on some of the hardest bosses.
Okay, can we
Indie games have to offer.
How did you feel after you beat Cthulhu?
I struggled with that art.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it was just a skill issue on my half, or I just wasn't ready with the weapons and the armor that I had.
So the Slime King was a breeze because I built my little arena. I just had 2 levels to it, and then
Yeah.
obviously the ground floor as well.
I think I did.
I had
3.
my bonuses, so I had like my campfires, I had my whatever set up, and I also chugged like 4 different potions. I think one was for defense that lasted a couple minutes, one was for speed that lasted a couple minutes, and one was for health regeneration lasted a couple minutes. And with my staff of fury or whatever, like it took a bit of time, but I do like 60 damage per hit, or like 30 damage a hit, and he only has 2,000 health. So like it went by quite fast, but I felt so good because I don't do bosses in games.
Yeah.
I generally I always go towards the like more chilled side, and big bosses like you do in the Souls games scare the like living daylights out of me. But this is the first time I actually like, regardless of how easy he is, I like took him on, won, and it was surprisingly simple because I like planned and prepared properly for it.
But it was satisfying.
Has 2,800.
Okay, so and flies around.
Yeah.
Whereas the Slime King
That's
just
why
like,
I did 3 levels.
Yeah.
So were you just standing on the top of your arena and just firing down?
No. He can jump between. He can use the platforms.
Okay.
But because I like planned and did everything properly, I felt such a sense of achievement, even though I recognize that it is like super simple. It felt good.
It felt
dude.
good.
So you're ready for the eye.
No, I'm not. I want to actually build the Colosseum and then I'll talk to you. But yeah, it's a rewarding game, and like when you go down into the mines and you find new areas, find new like. If you are struggling with one of the mobs in the mines, like I struggled so much with those random ass worms, and then I started like improving my gear, improving my defense, and eventually like I can one shot them now, and it's so rewarding.
Yeah, I think they in the beginning it's much easier to take them on with a broadsword or any type of melee weapon.
Yeah.
Compared to trying to use a range weapon, because you have to like figure out where they're gonna pop out from and then shoot at them. Where I'm just like,
yeah, but at the same time, like it's still just it's so fun, and there's a good sense of progression.
Yes.
So all round, solid game.
Do you know playing it what it reminded me of?
No.
Did you ever watch season 2 of Community where they play a video game made by Pierce's dad in order for Pierce to inherit the company? And it's with when Gus from Breaking Bad is introduced for the first time as he's Pierce Hawthorne's senior's assistant, but then if they find out he's actually his half brother at the end of the episode, halfway through the episode.
We're gonna
Just go Community
Pull it
season
up.
2 video game.
Okay. Wait, Cornelius Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Oh, is it this game over
Yeah.
here?
So like in the beginning of the game, it looks like super simple and easy, and then there's just like a ton of things you can actually do. And then it reminds me a lot of Terraria, where in the beginning it seems very simple.
In surface level, yeah.
Yeah, but then there's just it gets so integrated. What am I trying to say?
In depth.
In depth, not
Yeah.
integral, intricate.
Intricate.
Yeah,
Yay!
we got there in the end.
But yeah, so that is I think that's a great way to like describe Terraria. Deceptively simple.
Yeah,
But yeah, dude, I'm very keen. Like for real.
yeah.
I'm 100%. I don't know if I'm gonna go for all the bosses and hard mode and stuff, but I don't think I'm gonna put
I
it
would
down.
really love to hit hard mode.
Oh, but you're a hack and slash like roguelite fan, so it kind of tickles your itch, bro.
I thought you were gonna say ballsack.
I was, but you know,
metaphor.
Besides the swearing and stuff, we try to keep this for the kids. But yeah, I think that's. I don't really have much more to say about Terraria except that I'm frothing to get.
Yeah,
Honestly, I just want you guys to leave so I can play.
Even though we didn't
All right.
get as far into it as I would have liked, I'm really glad that we did decide to pick it up. I had a really good time.
Maybe
playing
we
with
can check in again in like 6 months after we've all logged 5,000 hours.
5,000.
I don't know. It had its last update in 2022, right? Hasn't been anything since.
I'm searching a lot here, but I'm getting better with the one hand.
Stop pretending like you don't use your one hand usually.
I think the last update, PC version history, 1.4.4.9.
Yeah, 2022.
No, November 17th, 2022 was the most recent, but that was just like a small, like fix. Nothing too crazy. The last major one would have been 1.4, which was, dude, when? Yeah, 2020. 1.4.0.1.
Journey mode, master.
Yeah,
golf,
right.
Pylons, graveyards. It says Queen Slime. Queen Slime.
So there were like a bunch of other things that were added.
Journey's End.
But so it hasn't been updated in a long time,
No.
and I don't think it will be. Terraria is very much a finished game.
You think he's working on a sequel, or he's just like, I made my money. It's time to relax with my millions.
If he actually got because it was an indie game, it was fully self-released, hey. Who knows? I mean, power to him. I feel like if you've done something for like 15 years or 13 years, whatever, you probably just want to look for the next one.
In 2022, it sold 44 million copies.
Up to, not just in that 1 year, but up to that point. Yeah, across all different platforms. That's it's good. It's good stuff. I think Relogic is working on another game. They have to be. I seem to recall something in my brain.
Yeah.
But
and when
who knows? Not me.
When we make Underleveled the game.
The game. Well, regardless of what point you are in the game, you are always going to be underleveled.
You're always underleveled.
It's just, you know what it's going to be, Kieran? It's going to be your wet dream. It's going to be like, what's it? A Souls-like.
It's Souls-like. Souls-like roguelike. With building mechanics.
Building and crafting. I'm in.
Building and crafting.
In August 2022, Spinks released concept art for the new sequel and mentioned that it would use a new updated game engine.
Ooh, so Terraria 2?
Yeah.
Terraria.
Terraria.
Oh, I don't.
Terraria.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Terraria. Anyways,
Terraria.
I think, that pretty much summarizes everything we have to say about the game at this point.
Yeah.
I had a lovely... Look, I didn't play it off the bat, but the last couple of weeks I've been really putting a bit of time, so I'm happy with it.
Out of 10 ancient fruits, what are we using to?
Ancient fruits? No, out of 10 Cthulhu eyes.
No. Out of 10.
I'd put it at like a 8.5 for me, actually. Maybe a 9, but 8.5.
Yeah, I'm around 8.8 to 9.
Okay. Kieran,
fun.
as someone that...
As someone who hasn't played the game and whose professional opinion is sought after, probably like a good 7.
Okay.
I mean, this is
7 interest level.
Excitement
right?
level,
yeah.
This is like one of the original, the 3 kings of indie: Minecraft, Terraria, and Stardew. Were like the big 3.
Is Stardew a king of indie though?
Yeah.
No, dude, the indie scene was popping way before.
No. But to have this like staying power from that time until now.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll let you have that one. I want to fight you on it, but I don't have enough information to do so.
What else back from that time?
Did you not just listen to what I said? I don't have enough information to fight you, but I will at some point in the future. Let me do my training arc, and then I'll get back to you.
The opening of the next episode. You motherfucker!
Dude, it's that whole meme of like, you have an argument with someone and then you just end up like speechless at the end, and then you're like 5 minutes later, like, I should have called them like ugly.
In the shower, redoing the argument with your shampoo bottle.
Yeah. Like,
shadowboxing yourself. Anyways, so we have been Unleveled. My name is Bjorn.
I'm Kieran.
I'm Ushav.
And please let us know what you thought of the episode. We appreciate any and all feedback. As always, direct the hate towards Ushav.
Have you played Terraria? Have you got through all 14 bosses? What do you think about the switch up to hard mode?
Do you think our opinions are completely like unbased in any kind of information? Do you think we're whackheads? Please let us know. I don't know. Can you comment on audio platforms? I'm sure maybe.
No.
If you can't comment on audio, then just find us on our other socials at Underleveled. That's UNDRLEVELED.
As of the time of when this episode released, we haven't decided what indie game we'll be playing for May. So feel free to leave your suggestions.
Yeah, you have actually quite a bit of time. So if you happen to listen to it like now, then we will potentially take it under advisement. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate your time and your attention. And we hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day and week. And if this is the last thing you ever watch of us live, enjoy it. But bye now.
Don't
Love
forget
ya.
to like and hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like.
I'm gonna go drop a dookie. Who's with me? Kieran, you sit on my lap, and Hushav sits on yours.
Have you been watching too much queso?
Quesadilla.
Oh. No, I can't watch him anymore. My laptop keeps breaking.